Our Country's Good by Timberlake Wertenbaker opens aboard the convict ship Sirius, en route to Australia, where the British Empire exiles its criminals to remove them from the British Isles. As the play begins, the convicts aboard the Sirius witness a brutal flogging and anxiously speculate about their uncertain future. Meanwhile, in Sydney Cove, an Aboriginal Australian observes the arrival of the First Fleet. His initial curiosity about the British presence quickly shifts to confusion and fear as he grapples with the invasion of his homeland. The focus then shifts to four British officers who have just arrived in Sydney: Governor Arthur Phillip, Captain Watkin Tench, Captain David Collins, and Midshipman Harry Brewer. They engage in a heated debate over the purpose of imprisonment. Some argue it is purely for punishment, while others advocate for rehabilitation. Their discussion also touches on the nature of criminality, whether it is an inherent trait or a learned behavior. Tench remarks that the convicts find entertainment in public hangings, prompting the governor to instruct Harry Brewer to find a hangman for 3 criminals condemned to die for stealing food. Yet, Governor Phillip also proposes a different kind of entertainment, having the convicts perform a play as a means of promoting reform and civility. This concept of a play within a play, famously used in works like A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare and Noises Off by Michael Frayn, becomes central to Our Country's Good. Haunted by guilt after overseeing the execution of 2 of the thieves, Harry is particularly troubled by the death of Handy Baker, a man who competed with him for the affections of Duckling Smith, a female convict. Harry conveys the governor's plan to Second Lieutenant Ralph Clark, who eagerly volunteers to direct the convicts in staging the play. Ralph sees this as an opportunity to impress the governor and earn his favor. He selects The Recruiting Officer, a comedy by George Farquhar from the Restoration period in England, late 17th century. As Ralph assembles his cast from the convicts, the officers continue their debate over crime and punishment. Some are strongly opposed to the idea of convicts participating in a play, while others view it as a worthwhile experiment in rehabilitation. The officers vote on whether the play should proceed, and with a majority in favor, Ralph is permitted to continue organizing rehearsals. Duckling secures a role by complaining about Harry's obsessive attention, while tensions flare among the female convicts. One struggles with illiteracy, and another feels unworthy of the part she's been given. James Ketch Freeman, the reluctant hangman, confides in Ralph that he's innocent of the crime that sent him to Australia. Forced into his grim role under the brutal choice of hang or be hanged, Ketch's desperation adds to the play's growing challenges. The first rehearsal is chaotic. Misunderstandings, arguments, and lack of discipline result in disaster, with many convicts thrown back into confinement. Frustrated, Ralph considers abandoning the project, but Governor Phillip urges him to press on, convinced the play will demonstrate the rehabilitative potential of incarceration. Meanwhile, Harry is haunted by the ghosts of the 2 men he hanged, their presence a constant torment. As Ralph attempts a second rehearsal, some convicts begin to show improvement in their roles. However, Captain Ross interferes, humiliating the actors by forcing them to reveal their flogging scars, undermining Ralph's efforts. Harry and Ketch prepare for a third hanging. This time, it is Liz who faces execution for stealing food, though she maintains her innocence. Harry's ghostly visions continue to plague him until he collapses under their weight. When Ketch returns to the rehearsals, the other convicts refuse to work with him because of his role as hangman, causing further disruption. The rehearsal once again falls apart. As is typical of plays within plays, the characters engage in discussions about the true purpose of a play. Is it meant to entertain, instruct, or satirize? Each officer has his own opinion, reflecting their broader disagreements about justice and rehabilitation. Duckling promises to love Harry, but when he collapses, he dies, leaving her grief-stricken. Meanwhile, Ralph and Mary, a convict in the play, rehearse together in private. Their interactions lead to a shared confession of love, deepening their connection. The officers continue to debate Liz's fate. Collins insists on granting her a retrial, but Liz delays, determined to honor her commitment to the play, regardless of her uncertain future. As the day of the performance approaches, the convicts share their hopes and dreams. Some speak of escape, while others imagine building new lives together. The play begins, and the audience greets it with thunderous applause, a moment of triumph against overwhelming odds. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.